All right, Coach, talk to us about your general thoughts on the upcoming season.
Well, I think we have a really interesting mix of senior leadership, veteran players. We have 2 3-year starters in Darby Maggard and Jenny Roy. We have a handful of players returning who have had some limited experience. And then we have a lot of players who have never played with a shot clock, so new players. And blending all of that together has been, in our preseason practice, that's been the biggest challenge for us. And I see pieces that we need to be really good. I just don't know how that's all going to come together yet, and that's the journey of every season. Figuring out how your team's going to ultimately play and how we're going to be good. And I feel really good about our leadership and our upperclassmen, and I think our younger kids will figure it out as we go.
Is that what you like most about your team? Is the leadership and some of the more experienced your seniors on that team?
Yeah, I mean, Darby Maggard, our senior point guard who's played for, been a 3-year starter for us, been to 3 NCAA tournaments, played in some of the biggest arenas against the best teams in the country, during her career. She understands the approach and what it takes every day in practice to play at a consistent level, to be able to compete at a consistent level when games get here. And it's not just something that a flip that you switch, or, the switch that you flip. It's something that you got to do every day. And Darby understands that. Jenny Roy, she's the same situation. She understands that. And so for our new players to have that leadership, that to me is the best thing we got going, is that we have young players with talent who are being led by some really talented upperclassmen.
What do you see as the biggest challenge for your team?
I think it's to say exactly the same thing, that we have a lot of new faces and people who are going to be stepping into roles that they didn't have last year. And anytime you graduate seniors, things change. And we graduated, 3 starters, but 2 of the leading scorers in the history of our program also graduated. So there's a lot of baskets that we got to find, that we lost through graduation. The good news is I think we have the pieces and the people to step up and make those plays. It's just consistency and figuring out who those next 3 and 4 and 5 guys are who are going to help, our core, our nucleus that is really solid. And I think I got my work cut out here in the preseason to figure it out. Hopefully we get it figured out by January.
When you've had a lot of success over the last several years, what do you see when you look at the OVC overall this year in the league?
When you look at the rosters, I see a lot of young players last year who played as freshmen and got experience, who were really talented. But as freshmen, there's a learning curve when you get to the college game. Now those players are sophomores and juniors, and they're older, they're more experienced, they're going to be a lot better. I know that there's a lot of new additions to rosters with transfers and a new freshman class that's really talented. So I see this league this is going to be a fantastic season of OVC women's basketball. It's going to be extremely challenging, and I'm excited to compete against these guys. But there's not going to be an easy game. I don't see an easy game on our schedule.
Tell us about the OVC tournament being back here in Evansville and the Ford Center in the city, and your thoughts on the team coming back up here to play.
Yeah, it was last year's experience. It was even driving in last night and seeing the city and seeing the hotel and the Ford Center and the beautiful venue, the facility at the Ford Center. It's first class, and for our student athletes to experience that and to experience the buzz in the hotel on game day and the tournament atmosphere. It really was a special event last year, and it's something that our players are going to remember when they graduate and they move on. They're going to reflect on their careers, and they're going to look back fondly at the time they spent in Evansville. And it's something that I'll cherish forever. There's something special about playing tournament basketball in the state of Indiana.